Hello, hello.
Hi.
All right. Whose idea was this stream?
I think yours.
Was it?
Yeah.
I feel like you've led the enthusiasm on this one the last week or so.
Yeah, I started prepping it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was your idea.
Yeah,
Reddit? Yeah.
I think I always roll my eyes with Reddit because so much of it is ridiculous, and I know most of it is young people, and a little bit of it is a lot of it is inexperience, and just going through the normal, inexperienced, naive, young, dumb shit that usually people do and go through, and confusion. But we often, even if we roll our eyes, you and I often have serious discussions after we stop laughing or rolling our eyes about, even though this was a silly comment in Reddit, and obviously this is the decision you should make, or this is the answer to your problem, it helps you start thinking about the right thing to do and what the stupid thing to do is.
Yeah, I think obviously you never know which ones are real, because some of them might be made up. But yeah, I think you can look at it objectively and just laugh at it. But if you're not actually in the situation, then it's very easy to just laugh at a situation. But I think today we're gonna laugh at some, obviously, but we're also gonna take it more seriously, I guess, and try to really go into it more.
Yeah, initially you were just going to surprise me with them, and I was going to react for the first time. But then I think it's better that we prepared a little bit, and I don't just sit there umming and ahhing and wasting time and not giving as best an answer as I could. And then after the stream, I'm saying, oh, well, I should have said this. I should have actually taken my time with it. So, all right. Hi to the regulars. Hi, Peg, Big Ol, Silva. How are you? All right. Let's start. If you would like to ask us a question or comment, you're here live during the stream, please add 3 smiley face emojis like this example here. 3 smiley faces or yellow circles or something just before your comment if you're here live during the stream. So, all right, let's get onto it. It's kind of funny. There's a meme going around that every single minor relationship, uncomfortable inconvenience, Reddit's reaction tends to be just break up. Like that's a reaction to everything, like break up. Yeah. I found that also in the manosphere as well. Like any normal kind of like, well, this is just normal give and take in life, your partner accidentally did this, or this is what happens in real life, and you got to navigate that. You got to kind of work it out. And everyone is like, oh no, black and white. You've got to break up.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If you're not in it, it's very easy to just go break up or like, oh, that's it, Yeah. But if you're actually in it, it's a bit different, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through them.
Yeah.
All right. First one. Okay. First one is, you can read it out.
So I think I might get some heat for this, but I feel suffocated by my boyfriend. Are we not compatible?
Okay. And so what was the gist of it?
So,
summarize, what was the post about?
Well, you should show it. Go back up here. Yeah, so basically, I'll just kind of summarize it. The boyfriend needs like constant physical affection. Constantly wants to be touched and that kind of thing. And he isn't really giving her enough personal space. Like even in bed, he doesn't give her enough personal space. So she's conflicted whether it's fair to ask him to change and whether they can save the relationship.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I've got a little bit of that. I need more touch than, say, you do. Like, a physical touch is very high on my list. Whereas for you, it's like, it's a few notches down.
That's true, but you don't... But the amount of time that you touch me or hug me is like normal. You don't suffer. You just need it more from me, but you don't suffocate me with it or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously if the person's being being very clingy, like a koala.
Well, in our deal breakers video, we talked about people that are very clingy.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you remember my reaction to that. Like, women don't really like clingy men. So if a man is like if he needs too much attention and touch, if it's like over the top, that's not very attractive. No.
Yeah, but I've also found, I'm thinking back to one or two of my exes, they say this: I don't want a needy man. I don't like needy men. And you think, okay, cool. Like I like touch, but I'm not needy at all. I don't need you to do stuff for me and be there emotionally, like fix my problems. I just like physical touch.
Mm.
I like hugging you. I like touch with a person, right? And the girls then later, they get annoyed because they think I'm blasé. They think, well, you seem distant. And I've said, like, I thought you liked a man who wasn't needy. I'm actually not needy like that.
But I think this situation is more extreme. Where he just isn't giving her enough personal space at all.
Like he's always like suffocating her with his body and presence.
Yeah. And like you're not like that at all,
Mm.
babe. Like you know, the amount of hugs and touches that you give me is like completely normal. It's not like too much at all. So.
Yeah, I kind of every now and then I just notice you, or I just feel like it, and I come up and give you affection.
Yeah.
And then I get back to being me.
Yeah.
Whereas if this guy's actually hanging onto her like a koala, or like a baby hanging onto a mother's leg, that's a problem.
Yeah, so if it's very extreme and it's too much, then I understand that can kind of be a turn off.
I like touch. That's at the top of my list, right? But if you were hanging off my leg at every moment, it would be suffocating.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My boyfriend believes that downloading a dating app and looking at girls without meeting anyone isn't cheating.
Well, if you're on a dating app, why are you on a dating app? Like, that's wrong, obviously.
Yeah. A bit of context. This is one that I found. And the guy says that, yeah, he was looking and he likes kind of the realness of it, but he never met up with any of them. So he talked, he looked at, he flirted and whatever, but he never actually really messaged to meet. He was always just skirting on the edge, and it's exciting for him. But the fact that he didn't do anything, it's not cheating because he didn't do anything. That's his...
I do want to challenge this a little bit, because the fact that it's a dating app tells me that's probably wrong, because it's a dating app and it suggests that you want to date people, right? But if we take away the dating app and we say maybe he's just looking at girls on the internet or on Instagram, like it's almost like that's a little bit different. And I say that because I think it's unrealistic to say that once you're in a relationship or once you're married, that you're never going to be attracted to anyone else. You know, like I know that you follow some girls on Instagram for whatever reason, but I understand that if you find other women attractive as well, I don't see that as a threat. That's just like human nature. But I guess it depends on how strong the relationship is. Because a lot of women might feel threatened by that or might feel that that's wrong. But if you were to be looking at beautiful women, pictures of beautiful women, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I do that as well. So I get that, you know.
Yeah, I think I find a problem. Why do you need to go right to the edge of I need this much reality where I'm almost but not quite doing it? And I have that same issue. Maybe women can understand this more. Like I wouldn't like you, and I would say I wouldn't allow you to go with girlfriends clubbing at night for the same reason. You're going really close to the availability of something ruining. You're putting the relationship at risk. You're going really close to the edge of wanting to feel something, but not quite. You know, don't place yourself in that situation. So what you're saying with this guy, he could get the same thing by following Instagram chicks, by looking at any girls on the internet. Why does he have to go on a dating app, messaging girls, and not quite like flirting, but nothing else? You know, it's kind of like going to clubs, going to bars, flirting with girls, and then if one of them is like, well, you want to go back to my, like, oh, no, I'm married. It's
Yeah.
like, why you keep going to the edge into an environment where you're almost tipping over.
But that's why I think this is a tricky one, because probably for most people, it wouldn't be a good idea to be looking at pictures of beautiful women or beautiful men or whatever. But it depends on the relationship. Because like I said, we are very secure in our relationship. And if you were to be looking at beautiful pictures, it wouldn't be because you would want to date that person. It's just for the aesthetics, because it looks beautiful.
I think any well-adjusted person wouldn't really mind, you appreciating someone you find beautiful online in pictures or on the street. Oh, she's gorgeous or she's beautiful or whatever. I think it's the insecure people that have a problem. But again, if you're naturally like that and you can't get over it, you need to find someone else who's as insecure as you are. But I think this is definitely a line where you need to go on a dating app, an extreme hookup dating app, like that everyone gets on to hook up and just catch up and meet in hotel rooms and have a fling and whatever. Like you have to chat, fish, and like chase, and right at the end it's kind of like, oh no, I can't, I won't, I'm married. Like if you need that thrill, I would say, why do you need to do that? Why do you need to make it so real? Why do you need to go to the edge so much?
Yeah, I agree with both scenarios, but we've got two completely different scenarios. Like in one, I think, like I said, for most people, I think that's threatening and it seems wrong. But that's also because they might be tempted to cheat and take it too far. But I also think that in some relationships where you're just secure and you're good with each other, you can't deny that you're never going to be attracted to someone or find someone else handsome or beautiful. That's just that reality. I feel like you can't ignore that that's the reality.
And look, first it comes with, like, if you're very open and you talk to your partner all the time, your partner feels secure and isn't surprised if you're like, oh, she's gorgeous, or they look at what your browser history was. It's no surprise. It doesn't shock you because your partner knows you and you talk to them. But I think if you do that behind your partner's back, you go on a dating site or you visit bars and clubs and you make up stories to your partner. Like if you're actively hiding it and then you get found out and then you make up these excuses because you yourself know that you probably shouldn't be doing it. That's why you're hiding it, because this guy was hiding it. His girlfriend found out.
Yeah, I keep going away from this situation. I guess in this situation, if you're on a dating app, it's wrong because you shouldn't be on a dating app if you're in a relationship.
If you're out in the open and you're always talking and you're sharing this and your partner knows you and you keep talking about it, it's not a surprise. It's not a betrayal. Your partner does it. If you don't like it, you break up. You don't go out with them anymore. But if you know your partner, you know what they're like, you know what they like looking at, where they go, what they do, how they spend their time, then they're not going to hide it and then make up excuses. Oh, well, technically it's not cheating. It's the same with going to those emotional affairs. You know, someone having a really good close friend and they keep lying that they caught up with them because they know how it looks and how you'll feel about it. If you have to hide that stuff, then there's something wrong. You should be able to be completely open. Yeah. And if your partner's fine with it, then it's fine. But you have to always not be hiding this stuff.
Yeah, but I also think it says something about you if, I don't know, maybe I'm getting away from this situation a lot, I'm noticing.
You're placing yourself as the woman. You're being like, what if I want to do this, like, I wouldn't have a problem, but that's not most women. You have to kind of think of yourself like what would most people say? Yeah,
most people would have a problem with it, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because I feel so secure with you that I feel different about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing, I mean, we're giving our opinion. We can touch on what we think. But generally, like, is it right? Is it wrong? I think this is wrong.
Well, this situation, a dating app, yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't agree with when they kind of, their partner looks at good-looking women or things that, you know, whether they look like naked women or whatever it is, beautiful women, and their partner thinks that's cheating.
No, but that's what I mean. Because that's where I think that's human nature. You know, like, I know that you've got certain actresses you find very attractive, like so do I, but that's just human nature.
Yeah, but
you can't really.
But I think that's normal. You appreciate beauty, and as long as you're open with your partner, that's fine. But we're talking about this. This is like a line.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to try to really keep my attention on the post because
Usually, I'm the one that especially when you ask me a question, I think I know what you're saying, and I jump to what I am excited about in your comment or question, but it's not really what you're...
But you know what it is, why it bothers me a little bit? Because I don't like it when people ignore reality. You know, when they say, oh, you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do this. Men are always going to be attracted to women, even if they're in a relationship or married. And to ignore that, I think is just dumb. And if you just feel secure in your relationship, then that should be fine.
Well, this is the dumb thing. Say we meet, right? We go on a first date, and I say, so which actor do you find attractive? And you say, well, I find blah, blah, blah attractive. And I say, well, I find blah, blah, blah. And then we get together, and I'm like, well, your brain has to switch off. Like, you cannot find him attractive anymore.
Yeah, right?
It's like, well, I can't. Like, that's what I find beautiful.
Yeah, but it's also, there's a difference between you're going to look on dating apps and you're looking at girls and you might want to date them. You know, like you might want to take action on it. That's different from I've got this celebrity crush and sometimes I look at a picture and I go, ooh, like he's kind of hot. Even though you're in like a good relationship, that's different. You're not going to do anything. You just appreciate that someone's handsome or beautiful, but you love your partner and you're happy with your partner and you would never cheat on your partner.
Yeah.
Like that, there's a difference between those two scenarios.
That's kind of like looking at a magazine, you know, the celebrity gossip magazines, and you look at a picture of like good-looking couples. Like, oh, cool. Oh, they're handsome. They're beautiful, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's not one party who's going, oh, yeah, like I'm really close to if only. It's like, no, you don't even think about that. And so that's the same if you go on Instagram. Your brain doesn't even think about, well, I'm this close. If I wanted to, him and me and them could go on a date. Or, you know, the next fight I have with my partner, you know, I've got this person on Instagram. The Rock is my friend, or Salma Hayek is my friend on Instagram. It's like, you don't think that way. But I think with a dating app, and especially with Tinder, and you're looking and flirting and liking and messaging and stuff, that's just like a very small... There's a thin piece of paper between you and the opportunity. Yeah,
like Silvar, what he says is like looking at photos of actors or actresses isn't the same as dating, as a dating app or Instagram.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say dating app and Instagram are similar.
No, I would say dating apps are made to date people, so that's where I think, no, you shouldn't be doing that. But even Instagram... Like, I follow a lot of, like, hot girls on Instagram just because I like the way they look. It's beautiful, you know, and maybe if you do as well, like, that's completely fine.
Yeah, but it's intense, and it's a public forum, and everyone from young, old grandfathers, like, I know there's, like, a demographic with age, but everyone goes on there to look and chat, and generally there's news postings, CNN, all of the world is on Instagram in different areas, right? Tinder... It's just one thing.
That's for dating. Yeah, that's different.
What I mean. So if you have to go then, and that's why I had a problem when I was dating, and girls say, I'm on Tinder, but like I'm looking for a real relationship. And I'm like, it's not a good start. You're lying to me or you're lying to yourself.
Although I found my latest ex on Tinder. Was it Tinder?
Your ex?
Yeah, Tinder. My ex, the one before you.
Yeah, but from a guy, I never took girls seriously on Tinder. Tinder is a hookup app.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's a lot of girls that want to have the option of having fun because that's what it's known for. But also, what if I meet somebody like you did? And it's like, oh, well, that's a bonus.
But it's a hookup app for women, I feel like. But for a man, if you meet, like if for a woman, it's easier to get a relationship out of Tinder than a man. Because if a woman says...
Anywhere.
If a woman's open for a relationship with a guy, he's probably going to go for it. You know, so it's more for women that it's a hookup app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, next comment.
I can't stop thinking about cheating on my boyfriend. What do I do? Oh, boy.
This is a really hard one.
So they've been in a loving relationship for over 2 years. And everything's good, sex is good, but she lacks desire when she's around him. And she keeps thinking about having sex with other men. Yeah. And she's not sure if she wants to continue on with him, I guess.
And by that, I'm guessing she doesn't talk to him about it either. It doesn't sound like she talks to him about it. It's just a personal desire and feeling she has.
Yeah, but look, if you're already seriously thinking about like sleeping with other men, then there's
Yeah.
obviously already something wrong in your relationship, and you should be addressing that first.
Yeah, it's not like she's saying, we just mentioned, I find a lot of men attractive online
Yeah.
that I look at. And I feel like it's a bit of cheating and I feel guilty. I don't do anything. I don't want to do anything. But I find a lot of men I look at online and I see a lot of attractive men and I feel like I'm somehow cheating on my partner. That's your own feelings. You're not really. You just find other people attractive. Everyone does.
Yeah.
But she's saying, I feel like sleeping with other men.
Yeah, so that's different.
I want to sleep. And that's what I mean about some people can lie to themselves. Like this guy can say, well, technically, until I actually cheat on someone, it's not cheating. Like, show me. Have I done it? No. So it's like a crime. Was a crime committed? No. It doesn't matter if he had a basement with like, you know, all these shackles and whips and like gags and masking tape in the car. He was prowling the neighborhood looking to abduct someone. The fact that he didn't do it, you can't really charge him with it. And I think a lot of people say, well, same thing. I didn't actually cross the line. I was on the edge.
Well, that depends on what you did.
But they're saying I didn't do anything.
Well, she hasn't cheated yet.
No, she hasn't, but she's thinking about it. She
Right.
wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's why I say if you feel like you really want to cheat, then you should address something in your relationship.
Yeah, because all it takes, they have a fight, and it'll be very easy for her to go, oops.
Yeah, but people need to stop avoiding stuff. Like if you feel like you want to do something and you know that it's wrong, you need to address that in your relationship and fix it first. And after that you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're feeling like that, you need to talk about that with your partner, or at least think about, okay, so what do I want to do? Because it sounds like she's having a good relationship, but maybe
how good is it if you keep from your husband that you want to, or partner or whatever, that you want to bang a lot of guys?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what she said, that she wants to not necessarily break up with him, but she's just...
You know what I found over the years? There are some people, they mean well, they want to settle down, they want to be good people, but they don't confront actually who they are and whether they can do what they want. There's some people, my ex, she wanted to settle down and set up roots and have a serious long-term relationship. You may want it, but you're not kind of capable. You can't just say, well, let me just jump on that train. But you're not ready yet. Like you can't do it comfortably. And some people like her, they just might not be ready to settle down, but they think it's time or something. And then, you know.
Maybe that's the problem, but that's what I mean. You need to do some self-reflection and see what you really want to do. You know, maybe you just need to spice it up a bit in your own relationship, and then maybe that could be a solution, or maybe you shouldn't be in the relationship, like you said, yeah.
Yeah, Silver said the same thing. He says, why does she keep thinking about other guys? Sounds like she's already ready to go, but doesn't want to take ownership and responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be it as well.
Peg says, if you're in a relationship and your partner is surfing the dating site or still on it, there is something fishy going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, there's some people that, I remember once, this was within the first couple of months. So we'd already had the exclusivity talk and we were just starting to be exclusive. I was dating a girl and I remember she handed me her phone for something and we were at a cafe or somewhere and I was looking and then I was like trying to find I don't know if it was Facebook or YouTube or something. I wanted to look at something, right? And I asked her for a phone. And then as I was scrolling through, I saw the icon for Tinder. And I was like, what's this here? And she goes, she was embarrassed. Like, I forgot to take it off. Okay, but this is the thing. You have to be very upfront. Some people keep that going because they're never quite ready. Like, say you're not ready to tell a person, I love you, right? You're in a committed relationship, so you keep all your options there in case it doesn't work out. But then again, that can keep you from, Like, what are you doing there? Either you decide to want to commit or take it as seriously as you should be taking it because you're involving another person. Or if you're not quite ready, have that conversation with them and saying, yeah, let's not be exclusive yet. But some people want to be like, well, I don't want them seeing other people. But in the back of my head, like, I just don't want to be like, I want to keep my options open because I'm not sure. But I want him to be sure about me.
Right.
And to me, that's a very...
It's not fair.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. I thought my husband and I were on the same page about kids. I told him early on that I've always wanted to be a mother. And a year plus into our marriage, he's on the fence and won't give me an answer. What should I do?
Oops.
Yeah. The lowdown with this is that she's talked to him about kids before they got married. And he was always like, yeah, later. I'm not ready yet. But yeah, kids might be good. He was very much like a lot of people do. They're open to it. But because they're not having to really deal with it, they think, I'll just push it up ahead. I'll deal with it then. But it's actually a decision you really need to make a stance on now, or at least let the person know. If you really want something in a relationship, and I'm like, whatever, neither yes or no, but whatever. But for you, it's a real must. It's a deal breaker if you don't get it. I have to, because I'm going to screw up my relationship if I never address it. I can't keep pushing it away. And especially something like kids, and especially something like marriage. If you meet someone and they're like, well, no, I want kids, I want marriage, I want this. You have to conform to my religion. You have to move here, you have to move there. And the person just likes being with the other person, says, yeah, whatever. Like, maybe, yeah, we'll see. And he's just enjoying the moment, but she's really planning for the future. That's not fair.
Yeah, but this is also her responsibility as well.
Sure.
Because she's saying he seemed to accept it, but he's never been very enthusiastic about kids.
Yeah.
So that should also be a sign for you.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm not really sure if he really is going to want it later on.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah. Because if you're very adamant, you keep asking, you're very precise. And you're very clear, like, I want this. Do you want this? I don't want to waste time. And he's like, yeah, stop pressuring me. Like, I didn't say no. Just like, let me, you know. And then if you keep taking a whatever as an answer, but you're very definite, then it's on you because you're hoping that he'll change, that he'll warm up to your idea.
Yeah, and that's probably where the woman is just like in love and she's hoping.
She's invested time and...
Yeah, also in the beginning, because she's in love, and then it's very easy to kind of ignore those little red flags. And then once it's too late, then it's like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think you should be very direct about those kind of things. If you're not really getting a straight answer from your partner, you should really sit them down and be like, so do you want kids later or not? And if they're not giving you a direct answer, then there's a problem.
Well, this is my pushback whenever I talk to a lot of guys in the manosphere, is that they'll say, well, if you want to get a girl, avoid this topic, don't talk about religion, don't talk about kids, don't talk about exes, there's all this stuff don't talk about, keep it all light, otherwise you won't get them into bed, you won't get it. It's all got to be like positive and fun, and don't be too serious. But I'm like, well, I want to get all that stuff off the table, and I'll do it in a fun way. I'll laugh on the day. Like, so what do you think about kids?
Yeah.
You know, you can, with a smile on your face, get all the important stuff out of the way, just so you can laugh about it, and then, okay, now it's all fun. I know exactly how you feel about the important deal breakers. But these guys are like, no, nothing. Let's pretend we could be a couple that gets along. It's like, no. You only know if you're a couple that can have fun and be silly and all of that stuff. If you're secure about, I know exactly where Stephanie stands on the important deal breakers like A, B, C, and D. Great. Let's just have fun and talk. And we're always open and having fun. The important stuff is not hidden, you know? And that's what I don't like about the whole, don't talk about this because women don't like. I don't care what women like. I care about what my woman would like that I get along with.
On the other hand, though, let's say they had really talked about it before, and now they're married, like a year plus into their marriage, and now he's saying, "Oh, actually, I don't want kids." Like that would be really horrible.
That's that's a douchebag. Guys or girls, when they do agree and they nod and they're like yes, 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 and then you move forward past the point that it's very difficult to return, like you get married or you have kids or something, like your life is like really set.
Yeah.
You've chosen something, and then the person's like, well, I did it for you. You wanted kids, you wanted marriage, you wanted this big.
Oh, that's so lame.
That's like, you don't get to play the nice guy because
Yeah.
you were scared. Like, it's on you. Like this person, yeah, they might have had the courage to say what they wanted, but that's admirable that they actually were upfront. You don't get to be the good person by saying nothing, leading them on, and then you wasted 2, 3, 4, 5 years of their life. Because they would, they would have left you right at the start because you're a nice person, but I really need kids. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next.
Next, Mundo.
I'm considering divorcing my husband. I don't think I'm in love anymore. So the girl is 29 and the man is 64. So there's a huge age gap. And the first thing I thought was about this girl, like, you should have really thought things through better before you got married. You know, because he's a lot older.
You would probably, you might get those comments with me as well. Like, Stephanie, have you thought about Bobby? He's a lot older with blah, blah, blah.
There is but their age gap is like double ours. So that is really, really big. Like if you're
more than double.
Yeah, if you're not even 30 as a woman, you're still like very young. And 64, like there's a huge age gap there. Like that's not really smart. I think, I don't know.
Yeah, when she was born, he was 30.
But see, you know why it seems so weird to me? It's because the only reason someone would marry someone of that age is for money, would be my idea. But here she's saying, I don't think I'm in love anymore. So, I don't know. I would think that you would only marry someone with such a big age gap if you were like really in love with that person. So
yeah,
I don't know what to make of this one. Really.
Yeah, we can't see them relating to each other to kind of actually know whether their personalities match. So it's hard to know. But on the surface, yeah.
Well, in this post, she also says she's always been attracted to older men, but she's been feeling detached from him. And he doesn't like her going to clubs and doing things she wants to do because she's younger, obviously. He's giving her an ultimatum not to go clubbing anymore, which he finds hard to accept.
Yeah, this is on him. Why did he go? Why did he marry? Not just date. Like, for me to be like, don't even move in with this person.
Yeah, but you both should have thought about these things before, because obviously if she's younger, she's going to want to do those things. And he doesn't because he's a lot older. So
they're going to tend to blame the guy more because he's older, and they'll say, you're more mature. You're way more mature. You're in your 60s. You are taking advantage of this girl. You just wanted to sleep with a young girl. So nearly all the responsibility is on you because she's young and naive.
But she's 29, though.
Yeah. I think this was a bit of like lifestyle. Unless he's a really good 64-year-old looking guy, charisma, got his life together. I get the whole he'll have his life in order and he'll be a secure partner. And there's a lot of factors that you find attractive, like you feel safe with me because I'm older and stuff like that. I get that, but this is a huge age gap. And I really don't know what they have in common.
And we don't know what their relationship is like. Because I don't like when people say he took advantage of her. Like, I kind of get that if she's, like, really young, like 18, 19. But we don't know what kind of relationship they had. Maybe he was, like, a really nice man. And
let's talk in general, because everyone loves to go to extremes. But what if? But you could. What if it happens? But this exception. But okay, there's exceptions. But what is the rule? Generally, and she says, I don't think I'm in love anymore. Well, by the sounds of his personality, he's very controlling. He doesn't let her be who she is. It just sounds like they got together superficially.
Yeah.
She wanted to be a girl, and she sounds like very young and ditzy and wants to have fun like a young girl. And he's this old guy that wants to control her.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, she should have thought of that before. Because I know we have the age gap, but I didn't come here thinking, oh, I'm gonna go clubbing and stuff. I know that you're not gonna be into that. Not that I want to do it either, but, you know, like, she should have thought of that before.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like without genuine conversation by which you can see if you're compatible, all you have is control. She's trying to be free, he's trying to control her, and they want to stay together because they've got this superficial image. He's got a young girl, and she's like got this older, probably successful man. And they're trying to keep this superficial thing together, but they're not really, you know.
Yeah, and control might be a strong word, but he probably doesn't like her going out because he knows that she's probably gonna cheat and meet younger men and stuff. So in that way, he's kind of trying to control her, I guess.
Yeah, because he probably knows all her interests aren't his interests. All her values aren't his values. Like that's why I'm with you. You like all your values are my values as well. So like part of like going out, clubbing, traveling, like whatever you want to do now in your life, what you're driven and drawn to is like, I can't stop you. You know, you're going to start resenting me if I stop you doing everything that you want to do in life.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Next one. My girlfriend refuses to let me have a say in decorating our apartment. So...
Well, that's not a problem in our relationship.
No, she doesn't care.
I don't care. No.
No, she literally doesn't care. I think we mentioned this once before. I'm like next to our bed. There's a little dresser table on each side of the bed.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of empty. I don't have anything on it. I just put my mobile phone when I go to sleep at night. I've got nothing. You've got like a whole bunch of stuff. You've got like a whole island of things, lamps and phones and things and whatever. And I'm like, babe, let's get like a dresser drawer for you. And nah, don't worry. I'll just put my coat on the floor.
Yeah.
You really don't care.
No, I am very practical. I don't really care about how stuff looks. As long as it's practical, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, she really didn't turn my house upside down at all. If anything, I have to encourage her. Like, babe, do you want to make this place look a bit like yours? You know, do you want to make it look like you live here?
Yeah, and I would just say no. Like,
Anyway.
I don't need to change anything.
But the backstory with this statement is they both moved in together. It's both their place. And she started putting pictures on the wall of, I think it's singers and bands that she likes. She placed them on the wall. And then she refused to let the guy hang up pictures of bands and things that he liked. And she said, you can put it in your home office. And her argument that they shouldn't, it won't match on the wall or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, my opinion is if you're going to live together, then, well, it depends maybe a little bit though. Like, if someone moves into your house. Yeah, but
Yeah, but also, it's if it doesn't really affect the other person needs to have control of everything. For instance, I've got plates or something, and you've got a plate that you like eating in, and I'm like, no, it's proper. You need to eat the plates. They all need to match because that's the way I like it in my house. But really, it doesn't affect me. I just need to have full control of everything. That's stupid. Like, I should let you do your thing where it has nothing to do with affecting me. I can't have control with everything. You can't be just a walking, talking doll that says everything I want you to say, and, you know, you have your own little likes and dislikes.
Okay, here's what I think. I think if you both move into a new place, it's 50-50. So you both have a say in what the house is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
But if I move into your place, I feel like I should be respectful that it's your place. And even though we're going to be living together, I can make adjustments, of course, but we have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
if you move into my place, I feel like you should be more respectful of, that you're moving into my place.
Yeah.
And you should still, like, if you love each other, you're going to, like, merge your style a little bit, obviously. But that's kind of how I think you should do
No,
it.
that's sensible. It's kind of
Yeah.
like visiting someone's house.
Yeah.
You might be the way you are in your house, but if you visit someone else's house and they say, oh, please, like, everyone needs to take their shoes off. And you can't be like, well, I never take my shoes off, so I don't care. It's like you're in someone else's house.
Yeah, but they moved into a new unfurnished apartment together.
Yeah.
So this is not fair. So it should be 50-50. They should both be merging their styles together. Yeah.
This sounds like, when one partner might be into decorating or interior design and they want to do it to their dream, but their partner is like, oh, well, I want to put this picture up. And they're like OCD, like, no, it doesn't match. I'm the decorator or something. Or it's like if you're a chef and your wife cooks, it's like, no, do it this way. It's like, do you want me to cook? Like, I have to, it can't all be your way. Even if you're the expert or you have to have it that way, you need to compromise a little bit,
Yeah, and I'm the type of person I wouldn't even care if we would have two completely different styles, and I would care about that. And we would just have a house with two different styles, and even if it would look kind of weird, I wouldn't care. Like,
Look,
whatever.
I'm the designer, and my eye's always paying attention to things that sit right and balance and complement each other, colors that match, things like that. So you notice with me, like, I make sure everything's, because I'm a designer, that's my job. But at the same time, there's the human aspect of it as well. Like, does it really matter that I might like certain looks and things? Like, for instance, say your clothing, right? I like the way you dress, but there's certain things like I really like that, but that's not you, and you don't find it attractive, and you don't want to wear it, or you don't like something. Like, do I need to have every little inch of you being a puppy dog that rolls over and whatever? It's like, it's very unreasonable. Okay. Next silly comment.
How should I handle my girlfriend staying the night with someone she slept with in the past? You shouldn't, because it should never happen, and you should never allow this to happen. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go into it more seriously. That's just my first response. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but this is the left, the conservative, the people that believe in, well, human beings, like, we're not meant to be monogamous, and people have these theories, like they think they're very smart and they're more evolved, like, oh, you old-fashioned people, the human species isn't meant to blah blah blah. And this is one of these things where women would say, well, if you trust your partner, you would know that she wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, but the problem with that statement is that it can be true, but people take advantage of it, and when they don't mean it. And that's the problem with it.
Well, this is my thing about clubbing as well. If you respect your partner and they really have a reasonable dislike for it, it really frustrates me. If I care about you and I think, like, for instance, like, I don't go jogging in the middle of the night, even though I know nothing's going to happen to me, right? But I don't, I've gone out at dusk or whatever, but I don't go out jogging at 1 a.m. in the morning like I used to do, because I'm with you and you get worried about me. And I'm not going to be like, well, I don't care, you're being unreasonable. It's like, you need to consider the other person. If you care about them, whatever you think, you're not single anymore, you can compromise. You can go jogging earlier. You can go, you can switch things around. If they stop you, that's a different thing. If something you're really into, it's like you cannot do it anymore because they say so. That's something completely different. But this is stupid.
Yeah, obviously you shouldn't let your girlfriend stay with someone else that she slept with in the past.
No.
Let's see what else they say about this post, because that's really crazy. They're having trust and communication problems. She lied about sleeping with her best friend, which led to a breakup and reconciliation. And recently she's had plans to stay with that best friend again during a trip. He feels conflicted about his insecurities and fears the relationship may not be sustainable.
She's gaslighting him. If you feel a need to hide it from your partner, like I said before, then there's a problem. Otherwise you would have been upfront with it. And it's no use saying, well, I knew you wouldn't, you'd be freaked out about it. It's like, then you knew they wouldn't like it. There's no excuse. I'm just being this mature person who's not telling a child that's going to freak out because I'm so wise and I'm so more evolved.
But I also feel like you would never put yourself in that situation out of respect for your partner, you know? Like, I would never even think about spending the night with someone, with a guy, period, but also not a guy that I had slept with in the past, knowing that I'm with you now.
Even if you were going out with, like, if you had a female friend that I really didn't think was good for you and was reckless and drunk and whatever and liked going out and whatever, I would say, like, no, I don't want you going out with her. Like, I really don't like her. She's not a good person. And, like, I'll give you my reasons why. At the end of the day, I'm not going to tie you to a post like a dog. But you got to consider the other person. Again, you wouldn't be friends with someone like that. But
I was just going to say, I would probably not like her either then.
But you know what I mean? This stuff is like hiding and gaslighting and coming up with these theories of, well, if you trusted your partner, well, if you respected and loved your partner, you wouldn't even do it.
Yeah, so I think for the guy in this situation, like, no, you should not allow that. And if it has already happened, then that's a problem.
There's reasonable protectiveness and there's unreasonable insecurity. So if you don't let your partner even, like, go for a walk around the block or to the supermarket because you're worried that, like, they're going to jump in, like, they're going to cheat on you, and they've shown no reason, they're always sweet, but you've got a problem. It's your insecurity and your imagination, and there's no reasonable evidence that your partner would ever do it. And all your friends and family go, no, she's sweet. Like, she's never done anything. But you've got this kind of fear and phobia because of what happened in the past or whatever. Then that's unreasonable. That's an insecurity. But if it's objectively real, like your friend is a hoe and she wants to go clubbing and your friends get drunk and they cheat on them, it's like, you're not going out with, I don't want you going out with them. And you're like, yeah, you don't trust me. If you trust me, blah-de-blah. So,
yeah, so here we shouldn't just judge the aftermath, but also the fact that you should not be putting yourself into certain situations out of respect for your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she also lied that she slept with her best friend. These sound like young people problems.
Yeah, like Silvar is saying, these aren't serious questions. It just confirms my view that Reddit is a waste of time. I know that some of these might be made up, but I do find it interesting to talk about these things, you know, just to think about them and what our opinions are about them and how we would deal with them. Like, even though something's hypothetical, I always think there's an interesting conversation to be had sometimes.
Peg says, if you're 29 and still want to go clubbing, something's wrong with that picture. Maybe she still needs to mature a great deal. I think I stopped going to clubs around, 29, 30. But then again, I was like, I'm enjoying my life. If a friend of mine, I wasn't going every week, but every once in a while, if it ended up happening with a friend wanted to go or you ended up there, you would. But it kind of peters out around 30. But there's nothing else in your life going out, and you can pretty much do anything. But if she's in a relationship and she wants to go in the single scene, which is what clubbing is, then that's a problem.
But I think this really depends on where you're at in life. Like, if you're single and you have girlfriends, I can imagine going clubbing like well into your 30s just because it's fun. So I don't think it's necessarily like a cutoff age. It depends on where you're at in life. Like, if you're 25 and you're married, like, obviously then you're not gonna go clubbing anymore, really.
What about the girls? Like, they got some women, they're married, they got kids, and they go out with their friends, and their thing is, I just like dancing. I like dancing to pop music and modern music, and the only place they play it is clubs.
Well, my sister does that sometimes with her. She has one girlfriend, and sometimes they go to like this Latin place in Holland. They go there sometimes just for dancing, but that's because we're like half Aruban and we love that kind of music.
Yeah, but I'm talking just generally like clubs, discos, bars. Not, okay, you're into that dancing or something. You actually want to dance or something. But generally, I think that people who want to go to bars and clubs,
yeah, I think most of the time it's probably people would probably be suspicious of why you would want to do that. But I can, but yeah, I'm maybe putting myself into a situation. Yeah.
I know where you're going. You don't want to share.
What do you mean?
No, we won't talk about some stuff. Not everyone needs to know.
Oh, you can
everything.
tell me later. I don't know what you mean.
Maybe you're not thinking of the same thing you're thinking of, but I don't want to ask it. Not about you, but of people we know. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, Silva says, just confirms my view that Reddit is a waste of time. It is. And as I said, I actually mentioned this in a comment here. I said that the relationship questions and advice on Reddit are stupid most of the time. However, after we stop rolling our eyes, Steph and I often discuss why the post was stupid. As in, we talk seriously about what the right thing to do, say, or decide would have been in that situation. And that's what we hope to do with reading comments like this. So it's a bit of fun, it's entertaining, but also once you stop laughing at the comment or rolling your eyes because the answer is obvious, then you can talk about, okay, this is the reality. These are what right and wrong look like to me and you. Yeah. And hopefully other people can learn from the easiest way to know where you stand is by a ridiculous example and you're the opposite to it. Then you can really, yeah, exactly.
I think it's interesting though, because once you get past the, oh my God, this is so dumb, I would never do this. And you actually start thinking about the situation, like what if this actually happened to me or to someone I know? Like, how would we deal with this, you know? And then you kind of, it could be an interesting conversation, I think. Hey, Karu. Oh,
Karu. Karu said something, then retracted a message.
They were just emojis.
Yeah, Karu, your message got, Karu left a message.
It was just 3 foxes.
Was
like
it?
Emojis.
No, but then I think he retracted the message himself. He wrote something and then he took it back.
Yeah, but he wrote 3 fox emojis.
And nothing else?
No.
I have no idea then. I have no idea. All right, next comment. My father is having an affair with my mother's best friend and I don't know what to do. This is a tricky one. Not that it's kind of not ridiculous, but the father's been having an affair and is making the kid feel guilty. He's been having an affair with the mother's best friend for 2.5 years. He admitted it, but it pretends, he says that he promises he's going to end it slowly and he wants to be delicate about it. And the woman's best friend still pretends to be friends with her, and it's like everyone knows except for the mother.
Yeah. This kind of thing always irritates me, also when I watch movies. Babe? It's because, you know, when you watch those movies, and this happens so often, where something's going on, this secret, and no one says anything, right? To the person or whatever. And I'm just like, if that would happen to me, I would tell the person right away. Like, I'm not going to be a part of your little secret going on here, you know? That always annoys me so much. Remember what I said yesterday? Like, imagine I cheat on you for a year, right? You find out, it's horrible, but then you also find out that your brother knew and he didn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's, how annoyed would you be at that? How angry would you be at that? That's crazy.
You're the person that's affected the most and you're the last person to know.
Yeah. So, like, if that happened in my family, I would tell the person right away. That's crazy. Especially if it's like 2.5 years and you find out.
Yeah, I've always said if I found out someone in my life that I cared about, family or, you know, friends or close people, and I found out, I would say to the person, I know what's happening. You have a few days, but by Friday, I'm going to tell
Pick up the effing phone and call him right now. That would be my reaction.
Like give them time. Like they might need to sort of say something, like prepare themselves. Like you've got a day, or you've got till Friday or something. You know.
Yeah,
but I
am
telling them because if you don't, I will. So I'm actually giving you the opportunity to do the right thing.
I wouldn't give him that long though.
Yeah, but it's not your life, babe. Like, I know it annoys you, but it's their life. It's their
Yeah,
relationship.
but it depends who it is. If it's like someone
that's
very
true.
close to me that's being cheated on,
Yeah.
I'm giving you some grace by telling you, get your phone, think about it for an hour, how are you going to word this?
Yeah.
And call the person and tell them now.
Because I'm going to call them in an hour or something.
Because I'm going to tell them in 1 hour.
Like
I'm
if-
not going to give that person a few days.
Yeah, like if your sister was being cheated on and you
Yeah.
found out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, see, this is the nuance that a lot of people, not just in Reddit, on the manosphere and online, they're very black and white. But when you look at the scenarios where there's exceptions like this, like, okay, in this case, I wouldn't give him time. In this case, I'd say do it right away because I can't hold myself back. I need to tell my sister.
Right.
I'm doing you a favor because I thought more of you than this. But like, you got to do it right now.
Look, if it's someone that's further away from me, like a classmate or a colleague or whatever, or, then I might give him like a week or whatever. But if it's someone that I love, that's blackmail human. It's not your relationship.
Yeah.
Well, if you weren't doing something wrong, then you wouldn't be in this situation.
Karu says he can't stop looking at my mouse and spurging. He doesn't like my mouse. Karu's a mouse aficionado, and this is like a really basic bitch kind of. But I really like it, and that irritates him. But you
Maybe
have to
he'll like
deal with
mine.
it, man. You have to deal with it.
I have a pink one, Karu.
No, even worse. This one's actually a higher end Pebble. This is the high end Pebble. That's the Bluetooth smooth one. Yours is the most basic one that the wheel is like really like going against gravel. It's pretty.
It does its job.
I know.
So it's good enough
You
for
care
me.
even less than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Ol made a comment in terms of we were talking about when your partner wants to go clubbing and you really don't like it and they don't care. And they keep saying, well, if you trust me, you won't go. He made a comment. He said, you simply mirror their behavior. No worries, babe. I'm staying at my ex's as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, or sleeping at your ex's. And I found this is a really good way to expose how much of a hypocrite.
Sorry. Karu. What, do you mean my mouse? Or that one? It's just gray. It's just a gray mouse.
Yeah. He's... Karu's flipping tables at the moment. Stop! Don't ruin your house, man. Yeah, I did this with an ex when I was in my late 20s, and she wanted to go clubbing.
Yeah.
With her friends, and I didn't like her friends. One of their friends was cheating on her husband, and the other one was going out with a guy, but she was never serious, and she, from time to time, kissed guys while she was with a guy at a club, got drunk. So she had a lot of very loose friends. And she said, well, don't you trust me? If you trust me, blah, blah, blah. And I had a friend at that time that I used to go clubbing with every now and then. He was like a clubbing friend. And he was a real sleazebag. Right? He was, anyone who knew him, he was fun to talk to, but he was just a womanizer. He was a sleazebag. He drank, whatever, right? And no one liked him, including my ex at the time. She was like, I don't like your friend. I don't like him. He's just a sleazebag. And when she said, I'm going with my friends, don't you trust me? I said, okay, I'm going with George. Chloe. And then she just paused and she went red and she's like, fine, I won't go.
Okay.
She got annoyed at me because it was like, why do I have to flip the mirror for you to understand objective reason?
Well, that worked well then, I guess.
Yeah, but she was pissed off like I was being petty. Like, I don't think she liked it. And it's the same thing I've mentioned this where you try and talk to women about objective fairness between men and women in the world and quotas and political correctness. And they're like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You have to give a woman an example that a woman will understand. And it's like, why do I have to paint this picture in pink for you to see it? You know?
Because we like pink, we're girls.
But
Okay.
you guys are so self-referential sometimes. Like, say about maternity leave and all that. Whenever I try and talk to girls who are saying, what's wrong with maternity leave? Yeah, why shouldn't, why should we not be part of the workforce or have a job just because we have to have children? Aren't children great? It's like, yeah, but it's not the employer's responsibility. You want a kid, take time off, but they're not holding your job for you. They're not paying you a year or 2 years holding your job. oh, but what's wrong? And you have to paint a picture. I know I'm going off topic, but I hate having to draw this flowery picture for girls to just see a basic concept of fairness. Anyway.
I think that's just a part of our biological makeup, babe, that we are more self-referential, and you guys, because you are providers and builders, you have a different built-in perspective.
So then do you agree that maybe women shouldn't be allowed to vote because they can't be reasonable? Because they place themselves in every situation?
I don't know enough about that topic to give my opinion.
All right.
I know that that's Pearl's opinion, that women shouldn't vote. I do think that women are a lot more emotional than men, and that's not always good. That can cloud their judgment a lot. But I don't know if I would go as far to say women shouldn't vote.
All right, so on to this one. If someone in your life was hiding someone from someone else in your life that was very important to you, this is kind of like the father blackmailing the kid. You
tell them right away, or you give them time to come clean, or you go and tell that person. That's it. That's the bottom line, really, in my opinion.
This is like trying to gaslight someone else.
Because else you're just going to be a part of their game and their secret, and I'm not going to be a part of your bullshit. Like, you made that mistake, don't drag me into this.
Like, imagine the mother, like you said, the mother finds out later, and she's like, even my daughter, you knew. Yeah. And for months, like, no one loves me. I'm alone. All of you are against me. Yeah.
That's what I mean with, you see that so often in movies, where they keep something from someone, and they mean well, and I didn't want to hurt your feelings. And then the person gets angry, but like, it was my right to know. You should have told me.
Yeah, the person that's actually doing the wrong thing, they're trying to spread the guilt to everyone else and blackmail everyone. Like the husband who cheats or the wife who cheats, they try and kind of, if people find out, but you'll ruin my marriage, but don't tell your like, they make everyone else lie. No, when it's exposed, you should be the only one that's pointed at and saying you're the piece of shit. You don't get to drag other people with you and go, oh, well, they're a piece of shit because they didn't tell me, and you convince this person not to say anything and blah-de-blah. Like, you make everyone, you spread your shame with everyone else. No, you keep all your shame. You're the piece of shit.
Yeah. Like, I can imagine if I had a best girlfriend, right, and she found out that my man, hypothetical situation, my man was cheating on me, right, and she didn't tell me. And later I find out, and she tells me, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, because it was gonna... I would be like, are you retarded? Like, are you crazy? You should have told me right away. What are you talking about? I would be so angry at her. Yeah, wow, I'm getting really... See? Women are emotional.
Yeah. Give me a license. You don't have one.
Oh, my driver's license?
Yeah, you know your limitations.
I don't drive. I can't drive. I'm not good at driving.
No. But that's very true. It's the same thing when I hear guys, they find out their wife is cheating on them or their partner's cheating on them, and they go and bash the guy. It's like, no, don't spread, like, he's a no one. He's no one in your life. You're expressing you're doing to the guy what you should be doing to your wife.
Yeah.
Not bashing, but like you are expressing all your rage and betrayal and hurt onto the person. He's just like a cardboard cutout. Your wife is the one.
Yeah.
And not the people that knew about, like, no, that person is the piece of shit.
I just realized also I'm getting passionate because of the topic. Because of
cheating.
The cheating topic. I hate this. I hate cheating. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the worst is when you tell someone about their partner cheating and they both turn on you. I know, right? Like, fuck you. You know, that's like when you tell someone their partner's cheating and then they get angry at you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
Some people are good at that, though. I've met people where they're very quick at becoming blackmail, gaslighting, defensive, and they put it on you. Like, you did something wrong. It's like, but it's only because you did blah-de-blah. It's like, no, don't throw it back on me. We're talking about you doing the wrong thing. I don't care how you feel. I didn't make you do this. Stop throwing it back on me. Some people are really good at that.
I remember one thing like this. It was like a show. I saw it on YouTube. It was a video. And there was a man walking around with a camera. And he was asking girls. There were like two girls. And he asked one girl, they were friends. Can you call her boyfriend? Ask him if he wants to go on a date with you or something. And see if he's going to cheat on the other girl, right? And then she did it. And he was up for it, right? And then the girl got angry at the girlfriend. Like, oh, why did you do that? And blah, blah, blah. Instead of actually getting angry at the boyfriend. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Is it normal for people overseas not to have a license? No, I just can't drive. It's a me thing.
She can't multitask at all.
No.
No, she's terrible.
Yeah, it's not so much the driving, like the driving of the car. It's the everything that goes on in my head, like the multitasking and stuff.
Yeah, you're very focused, and something
Yeah.
to your periphery. You like focusing your whole attention on one thing at any one time.
And I just, because I've had lessons for over a year, but I just never felt safe driving. I always felt like I was kind of just like guessing and taking risks. So yeah, I like being alive. So I just gave it up. I was like, I don't need it per se.
Yeah, after being with you for a while, like initially it's like, oh, maybe one day you're like, no, you're like, I would worry about you driving.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next, my boyfriend bought an. You can read. This was your one.
My boyfriend bought another woman an expensive gift for her birthday. How do I approach this?
Context.
Okay, let's see.
Well, initially, while you read that, I was thinking, if you don't buy your partner gifts, it's out of character, and you do something very intimate like that, I think it's a voice for concern.
Okay, so he bought an iPad for his coworker, and it feels disproportionate compared to the bracelet that he got her for her birthday. So he got her a bracelet, his girlfriend, and he bought like an iPad for a coworker.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy an iPad for a coworker. I would only buy something like that for you or my family. That's like very... Again, context, is he really well off? And an iPad is the same as buying, I don't know, flowers or a pencil case or a book.
Yeah, it depends on who it's for. Like, if it's for a family member or something, then of course it can be expensive. I get that. But if it's like a coworker or a stranger or just a friend, then if it's like super expensive, it's like maybe a bit, I don't know, it depends. Maybe because I was also thinking, if like you've got a really good friend, Kathy, right? If you bought her like a pretty expensive gift, like that's fine with me, also because I don't care about stuff. But like, because that's like been your friend, she's been your friend for like decades. So that's also different.
Yeah. Yeah. iPhones, iPads, they're very expensive. They're high-end items. Yeah. Maybe he's well off. Maybe he always buys. And what's her bracelet like? Maybe she's just looking at the monetary value. Maybe he did pay a bit for it, but she values iPads or I don't know.
Yeah, it really depends on the situation also.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer this one. It does seem odd though. I side more with her, but I don't know everything. My boyfriend is unmotivated. Is this worth breaking up over?
This is a good one.
Well, I'll give mine first. It's like if you met him and he was unmotivated and you hope that he's going to be motivated later and then you spend time with him and he doesn't change, it's on you. That's who you got with. So either like your partner the way they are, if they change for the better, bonus. But if you just pick a partner because you like how they look or it's raw material for someone else that you want in the future, then it's on you. That's not who they are.
I think this also really depends on what kind of woman she is and what you mean by motivated. Because I would say in general, women like men that have drive or that have a plan for their future.
Ambition and
yeah. So if a man is unmotivated, are you talking about he's being lazy and he doesn't really do much? He's just like playing PlayStation all day. Is it that kind of lazy unmotivated, or is it unmotivated where he doesn't really have goals, but he's happy, he's got like maybe a part-time job or whatever, but he's not really motivated, as in he doesn't really have goals or ambitions? Like that to me would be fine. You know?
This sounds similar to one of the previous posts where she really wanted kids and he was like, yeah, whatever, later on, I'm undecided, I'll see how I feel about it. And she moves in with him, marries him or whatever. And then later on, she finds out he's not really into it. He was just being agreeable. This sounds similar because she says, despite raising the issue multiple times, he remains indifferent, saying he'll figure it out later.
Yeah, but this is obviously a woman. It bothers her. So if she obviously needs someone with like drive and with career goals.
She's always bringing it up, and he's always saying, "Yeah, whatever. Like, stop bugging me."
Yeah, so that makes me more on her side, because she is trying to talk to him about it, maybe.
Yeah, but then leave. You know the answer, but you keep nagging him.
Yeah, but this is the step before leaving, I would say.
Yeah.
She's trying to talk to him, and she's contemplated leaving him. Yeah.
This is the thing I have with women who nag, the stereotype. It's like you're nagging because you don't like really the core of the person you're with. You're nagging him to be something you want, and that's not him. And even if he does it, he's not going to be happy, and you're not going to trust that he's really doing it because that's who he is or that's how he wants to treat you.
Yeah.
So it's not completely on him. It's on her too. Like, this is the thing. I know women are more passive, they're weaker and stuff, but a lot of women pick shitty guys and they stay with them for a long time. Like, I can admit guys stay with terrible women for too long, and guys will admit it. A lot of these women, they're just like, oh, but I'm a nice person. I just stayed with this bad boy or this terrible guy, and I wanted kids, and he kept saying, oh, whatever. And then boo-hoo. It's like, yeah, he's not nice, but you just kept accepting a whatever answer but you needed a definite yes.
Yeah, I feel like this should also be filtered out in the dating phase or in the beginning of the relationship. Yeah. Like, you should know what you're looking for in a guy, and then if he's clearly unmotivated and you need a guy that's ambitious, then why did you go for him?
If ambition and motivation is a nice to have, and the core of who he is fine, and so then be reasonable. Like, motivation and ambition is a nice to have, but it's not a deal breaker. But if it's a deal breaker, stop thinking that the deal breaker will become an undeal breaker. That's his personality. Stop asking who he's actually showing at the start to change.
Yeah, because I can imagine that a woman that's very ambitious herself, she should be with a man that's also very ambitious. If she's with a man that's unmotivated, that's not going to be attractive to her. So then she should
I personally think that most people, because of fear and insecurity, I get it, especially when you're younger, they're not completely honest when they talk to each other right from the start. And I keep pushing being completely honest, because if you have the courage just to be honest and tell people who you are, you will either stay together or you won't. But at least if you stay together, it will be honest. Because how many times do you see a guy and a girl together, and their frustration is like, he never wants to get married, he never wants to have kids. We were together for 5 years, we broke up, and 3 months later he's married and has kids. It's because with her, he was completely honest. That doesn't just happen. And they're completely happy. If you're not honest, you bullshit your way, and then you lock yourself into this avoidant corner, both of you, and you just kind of act your way through a relationship, and you get frustrated at every small thing.
Have you heard about this thing? The man always gets married to the next girl. Like, it's a thing I've heard, like, where it happens often when a man is in a relationship for a long time with a woman. They break up, and then with the next woman, they get married like in a few months or whatever. I think it has something to do with the saying, a man gets married, he settles down with a woman when it's the right time for him, or something like that.
It sounds poetic, but you get married to the person that's right for you, and then you almost, very rarely get married again. So you end up with the right person for you. So, like, for me, I never wanted to get married, and you can say, well, I married the next person, but there was a lot of nexts before you.
No, but you wouldn't be a good example for this, because you never wanted to get married. But let's say they say that a man settles down with a woman when he is when he's looking to settle down, when it's that period. Like, imagine a guy, he's dating and in relationships and stuff, and maybe the woman wants to settle down, but he isn't really at that point. And then, let's say, at 35, now he's like, okay, now I want to settle down. And then maybe the girl that he's with, then he wants to settle down with her. That's kind of like a theory I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but...
I think that's maybe more a female thing, because you've got a biological clock. If you want to have kids, you make a decision to settle down.
No, but it's about men. It's not about women.
I think more guys have when I feel understood by this person, then I'm open to whatever this might bring, then I'm open to the possibilities. Whenever and I've talked to guys, if they're honest, until you feel respected and understood and really like completely naked and connected with a person, you're not going to consider anything else. Like, you're not stupid and you don't feel safe, you don't feel understood. So everything before you, like, I never saw the point of marriage because I never thought I was seen properly or heard properly or understood. And so it's like, yeah, I just have relationships at a slight distance. I'm trying to connect and talk, but it's always this, I never felt like I do with you. And then possibilities. And this is what I saw with when George Clooney got married. Everyone's like, oh, the woman that tamed the Bachelor. It's like, nah, she was probably the first woman that made him feel, yeah, he's probably tired of dating and he's like run out of steam. But the woman, the person and the place makes you reassess and you take the person for who they are. He didn't make a decision, oh, I want to settle down now. I'm sure there are some guys, but I think a lot of guys settle down or take that step with women that they didn't take before when they feel genuinely understood and it's completely correct and safe and clear, you know?
Yeah, it probably has something to do with that as well. It was just something that was going around. I think we should check.
It sounds poetic. Landis says, "Have you guys read Chapman's 5 Love Languages? If so, what are your thoughts on that?" We did the love languages quiz. I think it's based off that as well. Yeah.
I don't know if that's Chapman, but
love languages. I'm assuming it would be plagiarism, so it's probably the same thing. So the love languages quiz is probably based off his book.
I don't know who Chapman is, but we did the one about like physical touch, words.
Yeah, the 5 love languages. So what is it? It's the 5 major one is physical touch,
quality time, words.
Meaningful words and whatever.
Gifts and acts of service.
Acts of service. And your top 2 was?
I still remember. I think mine was quality time.
Is number 1.
Words.
Yep.
Touch.
Yep.
Acts of service.
Yep.
And gifts.
Gifts was last.
Yeah.
Like, I think you scored like 1% on gifts. Like, you're really low. I'm low. I'm not that materialistic. Mine was like 13%. But yours was 1. So this one doesn't want any gifts, right? You don't care. I could not get you a present for your birthday. You wouldn't care.
And whenever you get me something, it's usually also something practical, like hair ties, because they always disappear magically. So when you get me hair ties or
what did I get you the other
like
day?
a bowl, because I love food.
What did I get you the other day? I bought you something. You were saying, oh, I need this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's an example. If you watched last week's stream and I said something I love about him is that whenever I say I want something, he gets it for me right away. And I was talking about...
Yeah, she doesn't ask first. She's like, I'm tired of this. I really need to get this.
Yeah, like I wanted like a makeup mirror, like a portable one, so that sometimes I could sit in the kitchen doing my makeup quickly.
Doing a makeup.
So we could like chat while I do my makeup. And then like the next day, literally, he got it at Kmart. So like that's like... I rest my case. It proves the point that it's true.
Yeah, but love languages, mine. So your top were words, no, quality time, words, and then touch, and then whatever the others 2
acts
were.
Acts of service,
like,
gifts. Your first one was physical touch, quality time. After that, I don't know anymore.
Words.
Words, okay.
Yeah. So our first few were similar, but kind of the first couple were flipped.
Yeah.
First and second were flipped, I think. So.
Yeah, and it also really it's very obvious in our relationship also. Like you can see that that's how it is. Like touch for you, like you love that. And for me, like I love quality time. I love just hanging out and chilling. So it is also very true.
Look, it is these kind of new age, like 5 love languages and the Myers-Briggs test. They're not scientific or anything, but they're good kind of fun little quizzes to give you a ballpark idea of where the person belongs, and through conversation you can figure them out. But this is really good because you do this test, right? You find out what things are important for you in a relationship with somebody, right? And then you don't have to worry. Like if you know what you need, then when you go out with someone, you can just pay attention to what's important to them as well. So if I know that physical touch and quality time and words are important to me, I'm not going to bother with trying to, like, if you know that physical touch is important to me, you don't have to go buying gifts for me. You're wasting your time. And so many of these guys, like, I bought her gifts and I bought this. It's like, but she doesn't care. Like, you're wasting your time. You're saying, oh, unappreciative bitch. And it's like, she doesn't care. Like, you're throwing all your energy into something that doesn't matter. So just find out what the person's top things are and just do that. And if it's not you, then you shouldn't be together.
Yeah, it's a good test to do, I would say.
And it's an easy way to kind of stop wasting your time giving to a person and you feel like they never appreciate it because they don't appreciate it. Okay.
I didn't drive until I was 27. Yeah.
Okay. Karu says, did she help him at work? Did she save his butt or was it out of the blue? Yeah, some of these comments, you really don't know the other person's side. A lot of comments and posts, especially in Reddit, the poster a lot of times makes themselves look like an angel. And some of the stories are ridiculous. It's like, well, you're painting your partner like he's a complete piece of crap. Yeah. And you're this angel. And yeah, you take it with a grain of salt. Big Ol says he only settles down when he's ready. Is a female cope to feel like it's nothing to do with you? Ah, that's an interesting point of view. You know how you sort of said women think that men want to settle down when he's ready. So it's like a woman's coping strategy, as though it can't be to do with me. I'm wonderful. I'm beautiful. He's just not ready to settle down yet. No, maybe it's you. Because you know that, like in Sex and the City, women really like the phrase, he's just not that into you. It makes it sound like you're great, but, you know, he's just not that into you. It's like, no, he doesn't like you at all. He thinks you're ugly.
No, that's actually what that means. There's a whole movie based on that saying.
Yeah. It's phrases to make women feel like you're still wonderful, but just, you know, you're not his flavor.
It's about women always coming up with excuses of why he may not like you. And then it's like, no, he's just not that into you. Like, he doesn't like you.
But not that into is a soft way of saying you're still great, but you're not his taste. Like, chocolate milk is great, but he's not into chocolate milk.
Yeah, but that's not how
you taste like shit. You don't even taste like chocolate milk or milkshake. That's what it's saying. That's what he's saying. A lot of these women say men aren't ready to settle down. No, he doesn't want you.
Yeah, I'm getting stuck on the semantics.
Which the...
Have you seen that movie? He's just not that into you?
Who's in it?
A bunch of famous actors.
Is it that
Jennifer
guy?
Aniston, Ben Affleck.
Ah, that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
a long time ago.
Yeah. So that title does mean he doesn't like you. It's not like it's supposed to be like a soft way to let women down. It's like he's not into you. Like, wake up, he doesn't like you. Because women, it shows like women making excuses and stuff.
You know the softness of that phrase is that. Take that out. He's not into you.
Yeah, okay, but that's more like your opinion right now. But that's how the story, the movie means it like that.
But this thing that Big Ol says, I think that's actually in a lot of ways accurate. When women think that guys just aren't ready, they're not ready to settle down, that's why he didn't marry me. No, you weren't a good fit for him. So that's why I said when you meet someone that you connect with and trust, you will take whatever possibilities you're open to and you feel like doing with that person. I know I ruined it.
I don't know. From the thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's actually a good insight. Rich Parker, I love this new format with the two of you. Thanks, dude. All right.
No, you skipped a few.
Did I? Yeah, but they didn't put smiley faces. All right, come on. Be the nice person. Read their comments out without smiley faces. Which one?
Well, I think that one's good. Like, is he unmotivated or unmotivated for her standards? Like, that's also a good one.
Oh, Prince Revolver. How are you, dude? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe her expectations are higher than his.
Yeah, I think it's not a great mystery when people try and figure it out. Like, he didn't want to get married and we were together and I kept nagging him and then he just got married, or he didn't want to have kids and then the next girl, and a woman gets really pissed off at the guy. It's like he just showed you that he is capable of it, but you two, it wasn't going to happen with you two. If you're both nice and communicate and you treat each other well and you respect each other and you're compatible, there's no reason, unless it's a fundamental core, like for instance you and I, for nobody, we don't want to have kids, but we agree on that. So yeah, anyway, have we...
What's with that one?
Which one?
Where do they rank pillaging soft English villages on that list? Is that gifting or acts of service?
I think he's trying to be funny. I don't get it. Yeah, Prince Revolver says, I knew I didn't want to marry my ex when I knew I couldn't live with her attitude. Yeah. If you can't even get the basics, why would you even consider anything else?
I feel like your gut also tells you what you should or shouldn't be doing.
I've always trusted where I am, my experience where I am at the moment. And when people go, well, don't you want to get married? It's like, that's a stupid question at the moment. Like, we're not even there yet. Like, I don't even like you yet. I don't even respect you yet. Like, we fight all the time. But you're asking me to promise you something later on if we can tolerate each other. It's like me asking Michael Jordan, like, so what are the best hotel rooms to stay in when you become a successful NBA player? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not even there. Like, I don't get these people. I know it's nice to know what you want later, but you should be aware of, like, no, this isn't the person to want that with.
It would be good if love could be, like, measured, like, by something, I don't know. And then you could only get married if it was actually good love, like true love. Because now everyone just gets married and it doesn't mean anything, you know? Like, it would be good if somehow love could be measured and only those people could get married.
It would be nice if we all were like soup cans off the production line. We were all the same. We'd all would connect. I think that's what the past did with religion, and every society was very, very formal and strict. And it really didn't matter who you were inside. You could just do your job of the wife and husband, and it would be a bonus if you liked them. But if you didn't get along, you would both act the way you're supposed to act.
I wouldn't want that, though.
But that's the way it was back then. You wouldn't have a choice, babe.
I would totally fight that, I feel like.
You would be a witch.
I would be one of those authors. Yeah, no. I would be like Jane Austen. I'd be writing and, like, taking care of myself in, like, a small little house or something. Yeah, that would be me.
You would be a little... Yeah, you wouldn't care what other women said about you. You would be like the little weirdo doing your own little thing, living in a cottage.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next
one.
All right, how long have we been going for? Let me just check. 1 hour and a half. Yeah, told you.
I feel like I could do a stream for like hours and hours and hours. Because it's not tiring at all, and it's fun.
Let's I just want to read some of the comments from some of the guys here. David says, I've had a hard enough time dealing with YouTube comments. I can't deal with Reddit. Luke says, try saying it to him, not Reddit. Proper communication is all the rage these days. This is the first thing most people respond to when someone talks about a really serious problem, and you can tell they should be saying this to their partner.
Yeah.
Like, why are you opening up your heart here? And I could tell you're frustrated, and I know you haven't said this to the person. You can just tell.
Yeah.
It's like, we are the last people, the first person. If you're not saying, I said all this to my partner and now I need to share it and make sense of it. No, all of it is like, I'll tell you guys first and then I'm going to do it for real.
Well, that already says a lot in itself about the relationship. If your partner's not the first person you're going to go to, that already says a lot, I think. It's easy not to communicate to your partner when you believe... Can you move it? I can't read it.
Which one?
You have options.
Can you pass me my tea, babe?
Look at the mess you made.
Where are we up to? Was it unmotivated?
This next one's good. I have an answer for this next one.
Okay, hang on. No. Okay.
Next one. Is there ever an excuse to cheat? Yes. I have one scenario.
Someone's going to clip that out and make a response video and shame. Look at human. Look at the woman he married.
Is there ever
she believes in cheating.
Is there ever an excuse to cheat? Yes. If you're a man. No kidding. Okay. No, my scenario where I have no problem, I will not judge you if you cheat as a man, is if you are stuck in a marriage and you can't leave because you know she's going to screw you over completely, take everything from you, you'll never see the kids again, she'll make allegations against you, blah, blah, blah. Like you're completely stuck and you can't take responsibility and break up and leave before you are with someone else. Then I would say I would not judge you if you then cheat and find some happiness with someone else.
Look, there's always exceptions. And I recently commented on my other channel where I talk generally about doing the right thing. And someone says, yeah, but what about this and this situation when you've got this, this, and this? And I go, yeah, of course, the consequences of doing the right thing in that situation are terrible. Your whole life will be destroyed. You're in a bad place. You're essentially locked in a cell.
Yeah.
And you'd be almost stupid to destroy your life by doing the right thing. So unfortunately, you've let things go on for too long and you've locked yourself in a situation where it's impossible to do the right thing. Yeah. Exceptions, okay, we get it. So, but generally, is cheating okay?
No, of course not. Like the first thing you should, like it's only okay in that scenario because you can't.
But what if I want to?
No. You can't, listen, you can do whatever you want, just break up first.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I will say. Like, take responsibility and break it off first, and then you can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. Am I going off?
No.
Oh, okay, because you're touching me.
Because you're my wife. I can touch you for
Yeah,
me.
of course you can touch me.
Don't tell me what to do. There's a saying, who was it by? You're free to do whatever you want, but you're not free of the consequences of doing whatever you want. So you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's not how I mean it, though. What I mean is, if there's, because people always use these excuses of, I cheated because, and it wasn't my fault because I was going through a depression, or he wasn't giving me any attention, or he was always traveling. All these reasons are excuses. If you want to be with someone else, you need to break up first, and then you can do what you want to do. And that's the only answer I will always give in every scenario, except for that one exception.
Here, like for instance, a little bit of context in this one is I had my doubts of her faithfulness, which I raised a couple of times towards the end of our 2-year relationship due to some red flags. Every time I was told I was insecure. When I collected my remaining belongings, it surfaced that she did in fact cheat on me by sleeping with another man, in which she's already in a relationship with now, not even 3 months after breaking up. Her exact words were, "You made me cheat because I was unhappy. You made me do this because of how you made me feel." To the best of my knowledge, I did everything I could to salvage the relationship, communicating clearly and suggesting relationship therapy. I did lose my temper a few times, which I worked hard on, but there was nothing which I thought could be fixed. I'm truly heartbroken, disgusted simultaneously. So basically, she gaslit him. It's like, you made me do this. It's how you've made me feel. Like you said, people who work too hard. You're never home. I just needed love. I was just a woman who needed to be touched.
That's what, those kind of excuses, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I did something wrong, but because you did this, it's okay what I did. Like,
yeah, I didn't make you do anything. If you wanted to do it, you do the right thing, you break up, and then you do whatever the freak you want. Prince Revolver said, do you guys believe men and women who run to gender-specific spaces online instead of talking to their partners is a reason some relationships fail?
Probably.
Yeah, I think there's some, if there's a minor problem, it can keep blowing up if you don't talk. And it creates so much distance that if you were just honest at the start, it would have been nothing.
Yeah, but also the fact that you that if there's a problem in your relationship, the fact that you want to run to your girlfriends or to an online website to talk about it instead of your own partner, that in itself already tells you something's wrong. Because if there was something going on with us, I would talk to you about it. I wouldn't talk about it with my sister or a friend or whatever. Like, the first place I would go is you. Yeah.
What do you think of this? Prince Revolver said, anytime a woman says she's unhappy, the reason is basically over. Like, the relationship's over. It doesn't matter what the reason is. When a woman says she's not happy in a relationship.
Oh, well, that depends. I mean, it depends on what she's unhappy about. Maybe they can talk about it and fix it. So, not
what
necessarily.
If it's, I think he's talking about the general, like, she's just made a decision. You know what? I'm not happy anymore. And a lot of people, you hear them like, she doesn't even want to go to therapy. She doesn't want to fix things. Or she might, so she's not the bad guy. I've heard a lot of instances where women have already decided it's over. And they go to therapy just so they can say, oh, we went to therapy at the end, I tried, just to make it. But she's only doing lip service to the therapy. She's made her decision.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on how she means it. Like, if she's saying she's unhappy and she's already made up her mind, what you're talking about, I get that. And I know that happens with women. But there's also a different scenario where she can be unhappy about something specific in the relationship, but they can still fix it.
Yeah, that he didn't know about, or they needed to talk about.
Yeah.
But if she's just, I think he's talking generally when women are just like, you know what, I'm not in love anymore. I'm not happy. So they just want to be happy. They can't be happy with you. They've made a decision, and they don't want to talk about it. They just, they're basically saying like, I'm fading away, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, could be a possibility.
And I don't want to talk to you.
Sorry, I want to get to...
Which one?
Silvar's...
that one?
Yeah. I don't even accept Steph's exception, because when the cheating is exposed, he gets the divorce he was trying to avoid anyhow. Well, yeah, but obviously I'm talking about a scenario where it wouldn't be exposed. But that's a difference. That's like a result that we haven't even talked about. Like, of course, that could happen, and then he'd be fucked anyway, I guess. But, yeah.
Yeah, look, we both agree that under normal circumstances where insecurities and fear is the only thing holding you back, like, you should just be upfront and not cheat. But basically, if you're going to be in a miserable corner and your wife or husband has the key and they're keeping you locked in a miserable cage and you can't move, and you can have a bit of happiness by lying and cheating, and they won't know. It's not the right thing to do, but...
I was just going to say, it's not like it's the right thing to do, like we agree with cheating and that cheating is good. It's still bad. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't judge that person. Like, I would understand that person.
You know what it's like to me? It is objectively and morally wrong. I agree with Silva. But it's like, if you've got a dog and you never feed it, and you say you're never getting food, I feed you, but I'm never feeding you, you're going to starve. And the dog sees like crumbs on between the fence, and he's like trying to get some. Is he a disloyal dog, or does he need to eat? Like, you're starving him. You're getting off on starving him. You're a cruel owner. And is it wrong for the dog? Do you expect the dog to be loyal despite how you're treating him? At what point does the dog have to survive and have something? Like, you're keeping him caged. That's the exception, I think.
Yeah, but obviously try to get out of the situation if you can.
Yeah. I would, start doing weights and start boxing and get out of the situation. But it is like morally, I agree. But we're talking about the exception where there are very rare exceptions where the consequences of doing the right thing destroy your world. You know, there's a lot of stories where the guy is in an uncomfortable situation, but he can live with it. For instance, he gets to see his kids every day, and his wife's not cheating on him, but they don't talk. He feels lonely, but he's got his friends, work, life, kids. He's just not as close with his wife, and he feels like, I married the wrong person. that's kind of mild irritation, but you've got a lot of other positive things, right? If you do kind of just leave your wife and break your marriage apart, lose your kids and everything, and then you're free and single, but it's like, you know what? I wish I didn't break up with my wife, because the benefit doesn't outweigh what I've lost. Like, I wish I could go back in time, because being single isn't all, like, I didn't need that little bit extra. Again.
Do you have any more?
I think no. Now we're on to some of the more lighthearted ones. I think you found. This was your one that you found.
Man of trash. I don't know why, but it just sounded so funny.
I just
so
picture
abrupt.
a woman like crying with a mascara, just ranting and doing a YouTube video just after she got broken up with, or.
Like, I know that it's bad, like, when women get really emotional and crazy and stuff. They set your car on fire and stuff, you know. But sometimes it's hilarious. It's like,
Not for
you
the
can
guy.
just picture them. No, not that situation, but, like, when they go crazy, you know. But let's read the post, because there's a post.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm 28 and convinced all men are trash. The one or two nice guys in between don't count, because they are basically unicorns these days. It feels impossible to find a guy who's loyal and doesn't lie. The last guy I thought had potential beat the crap out of me. I'm scared to date, but I don't want to be alone forever. I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, maybe your minimum standard is like, don't date guys who beat the crap out of you, who have a temper.
I was just thinking right away, men aren't trash. You've just been dating trashy guys. And this is what you think now.
Look, the less experience you have, I would hold them to less accountability. But when you start getting into your 30s, 40s, and you've dated a bit, you've been around people, you've matured. Like, I can't give you a pass that I give an 18-year-old or a 22-year-old. Like, I really can't.
Can I just also say, I think trash is a word you can't use to describe men. I would describe women as trash sometimes, like trashy women. It's weird to describe men as trashy.
What would be equivalent for men? Men are pigs.
Asshole.
Pigs. Because we can be disgusting.
Sure, yeah.
But when I heard men are trash, it's like, well, we come from you. We come from women. You give birth to us. Yeah. So we came from you. So are you trash too? But anyway. Another one.
I threw a drink at someone in the drive-thru, and I have so much regret. I thought that was funny too.
What was the summary of this one? My husband and I. She's married.
Yeah, they were ordering food at McDonald's, and then her fries were cold, or his fries were cold. And then basically she got into like a fight with the woman at the window, and she got really frustrated, and then she threw a drink at her, and then she regretted it later.
Because the fries were cold?
Yeah.
It's not a restaurant. You didn't pay for like a candlelit dinner with, oysters and truffles and something, and like it's a special moment. It's McDonald's.
Do you remember what I said about this morning? I actually think this is kind of funny, right? But I actually think that if this happens, and like a girl you're dating, if she throws like a drink in someone's face or whatever, I think that's a huge red flag. Because think about it, if you're in that situation, right, and you get really frustrated and annoyed at someone, you're going to keep that inside. Like, you're going to just be frustrated, but you're not going to get physical. I feel like once you cross that line and you become physical in some way, like, what else are you capable of? Like, that kind of scares me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one of the first things I always looked at is I pay attention to anger, patience, if she contradicts herself, and the language she uses, like aggressive, talking down, bitching about her co-workers, bitching about her siblings and friends. And it's like, yeah, well, with people you care about, you talk badly about them. You don't have patience. You've got a temper. You're very rude to the waiters or something, Like, but you pay attention to that because, yeah, she's smiling at you because it's a first date. She's all optimistic. But once you settle with her, the first argument or first thing that doesn't make her smile, she's going to be pointing her finger at you and getting her claws out.
Yeah.
Prince Revolver. What did he Prince? Yeah. Anytime a woman says she's unhappy, the reason is basically over. Rick says, Prince Revolver is right. It happened to me. Yeah, guys have heard this. Women, when they say, look, I'm not happy, they don't want to fix. Again, women don't want to fix problems they've decided already. A woman decides when she goes on a date whether she's going to sleep with the guy.
Yeah.
A woman, when she decides, I'm not happy, she's not happy. She's not saying, babe, we need to talk. She's saying, I'm not happy. I don't love you anymore. It's like it's over. She's made a decision. She's not saying, oh, well, a lot of guys actually think, well, we're going to work on it. She's asking you to fix it. Women aren't asking you to fix anything. They're telling you how they feel. Yeah, Silva says, don't pick men from trash and expect
from the trash can
and expect to find treasure. Yeah. Prince Revolver says, I always found it funny how people will correct men when they refer to women by saying not all women, but when a woman says all men, it's okay. Well, I think people are starting to push back. Now it's becoming, the phrases are starting to be thrown back to be fair more often.
I think it's probably more the opposite.
That?
Because, yeah, I think that there are probably, most men in the world are probably just normal, good men. But most women in the world have that tendency to be very emotional and to have that side to them that isn't really nice, that they could use.
I've always believed this, that women gaslight. You think about what women are used to with their friends. Women backstab, they lie, they gaslight each other, they pretend, they manipulate, right? And when women get together with a guy, like they start dating, they go, what I want is a guy who's honest, he doesn't cheat, it's like, yeah, all the stuff you're used to with your girlfriends. You women do all this, and now you want to feel safe with a guy who will never do that to you. You want a guy who's unlike all your girlfriends, who makes you feel safe, who's honest, who doesn't manipulate you, who you can trust, all that stuff. So I think women are used to lying and gaslighting to survive with their girlfriends in school.
But it's probably also because women can get away with all of that stuff. I feel like if men could, they would probably also take advantage of it. It's just that, Yeah,
women blow your world up and then they just go, tee-hee.
Yeah.
And guys go, oh, okay, come here.
Yeah.
When a guy does anything wrong, he can't go tee-hee. He can't cry. He can't do anything. All right. What's in the next one, I think? Funny one.
I throw away my coworkers' coffee mugs because they don't put them away. You know what? I wouldn't do it, but I kind of get it a little bit. Yeah, it's because... Oh, let's read the post a little bit. So this person works at a place that has like a dish drying rack. And she keeps telling everyone to like put their dishes away and their mugs away. And people keep not doing it. And this person just got fed up and then just started throwing them away.
Yeah, at our workplace as well, the cleaners, they made a policy, and the owners too, they sent an email and they say, look, we're cleaning the fridge out every Friday night. So make sure you take your Tupperware and your containers, because people just leave stuff there. And it becomes like a science experiment that's growing fur and legs in a few months. Like, it's... So, yeah, I agree with that. All right. How long have we been going for? Have we read... Actually, I don't think we've read all the comments. Have we read all the comments? There's an extra comment here. Peg added a comment here. She says, perhaps I am behind the times. What seldom and very few Reddit posts I have come across are not worthwhile. Yeah, I agree. This was meant to be a bit entertaining, but also through laughing at it, we can kind of talk about what the right thing is. And like when you say, jokes aside, that's what we're trying to do here and have a little bit of fun. But I agree. I view Reddit posts when they're fed to me. I don't go looking for them. They're fed to me on my phone. And I just kind of laugh and go, babe, look at this.
Yeah, I also think it's not really about the posts. Like, that's something kind of funny that you roll your eyes at, maybe. But I think that you can take a post like that and then have a serious conversation about it, and that's what I find interesting. And then we can talk about, like, how do we think about it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, for like you could, it's all fine to know that you and your partner, you have a certain life, right? We would never do this. But then when you see someone that does something that you would never do, you can have an interesting conversation because it's so against everything you believe in. You can laugh at it, but it can have a, and also it helps. It feels good to express your values in opposition to something that's ridiculous. You know, I like, part of me likes when you get really annoyed at people cheating and people being idiots, because it lets me know where you stand on the subject of cheating.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. I think that's it.
Silver. Setting a mug in a drying rack overnight isn't the same as half a sandwich in the back of the fridge for a month. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different. Yeah. I was just saying, like, I kind of get it. But that's maybe because, I don't know. Sometimes if I want something done a certain way and people don't do it, it annoys me. So I guess I kind of understand. Like, I wouldn't do it, but I get why the person would be frustrated.
What annoys you about me? Like, you know, in terms of the fridge thing, like, you know, how they talk about co-workers, they tell them to put their dishes away, and because they won't do it, they throw them away. They have to take extreme measures. Is there anything that I do day to day that kind of...
No, those things don't annoy me, like the pantry door or whatever.
Mm.
But that doesn't annoy me. You know what is something that annoys me a little bit sometimes, though? At work, I always want to keep the office door closed of where all the teachers sit, you know? I'm always closing the door because we've got the heating on. And then outside of the door, it's cold because the wind from outside comes in. And sometimes teachers don't close the door when they come in or they walk out.
But you're sitting right next to the door, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's reasonable.
Yeah, okay, but I don't own the office. It's not my office. There are also other people. But I get annoyed sometimes when people don't close the door because I keep getting up to close the door. Yeah, so that's something that annoys me a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, but that's... I'm on your side there because you're right next to the door. You feel the draft. You're always intruded on by noise and draft and everything. But if you were sitting on the opposite side of the room where it was nice and warm, people opening and closing the door on the other side, that doesn't affect you. You don't feel the cold. It wouldn't bother you. You wouldn't care. You wouldn't be getting up to close it all the time, I don't think.
No, probably not if it wasn't so cold. No. Please do the backhand. Do it, babe.
Thumbnail, babe. Hey, Boffin. I think, we're...
As a chauvinist.
As a chauvinist. Look, a lot of women, when they say we're all old-fashioned men, what they're saying is we're all the chauvinists. And they're saying we're all the chauvinists that we don't want, but wish we had, but we don't want.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want you, but sometimes we don't. I'm a strong, independent woman, but kind of sometimes I'm this way. It's like, how about you be one way? How about that? But that's no fun. All right. Oh, Big Ol says, are you a teacher, Steph?
Yeah, I'm a teacher. Yeah. Always wanted to be a teacher ever since I was like a toddler.
A teacher who doesn't like kids.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's funny, but it's because I love teaching. I love the act of teaching, but not necessarily kids. They just happen to be in the classroom, but I just love teaching.
Yeah, so. You like the presentation, the organization, the presenting, the information. And you would have been better, although older kids are still a bit rowdy. I was going to say you would have probably been better being a lecturer in a university.
I would have, yeah. If I could go back in time, then I probably would have studied more so that I could do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys, any last comments or questions if you're here live during the stream? And we'll read them out and we'll wrap the stream up because I think there's about a minute delay. I thought it was like 20 or 30 seconds, but I think the stream delays however long it needs so you get enough buffer for it to go smoothly. So, and also, don't forget to check out our latest videos on our channel that we've done, and also including this one, the response to Reddit post, all our other live streams that we've done. We've started.
That's this one. That's the one we're doing now.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. But we're up to 5 now, which is good. So anyway, all right. Got anything to add?
I never want to stop streaming. It's always so much
The
fun.
music has stopped, babe.
Yeah.
The nightclub's lights are coming on, and we have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the attitude I have as well on Sunday night when I've got work the next day. I just want to stay up as long as possible, and I only get like about 4 hours sleep overnight because I want the weekend to last as long as possible. But you go to bed like 8:30, 9. You don't care.
Oh yeah, because I get up at 5.
But you've got this thing where you want tomorrow to come really quickly, and so you love going to bed early. I want today to last really long, and so I go to bed sometimes too late. I want to get the most out of this day, and you want tomorrow to come.
I used to feel like I want tomorrow to come in Holland when I lived in Holland. Now I'm happy in the evenings, but it's more because I'm so tired. I just fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah,
That's why I go to bed early now. Yeah. Oh, Buffin says, I can tell you've been practicing.
Ah, me. I've been practicing the backhand, maybe.
Ah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Why you got red cheeks, babe.
Do I have red cheeks?
No, not now, but generally. Like, it's
oh my
because
God. When I get angry in my class at my students, right? Sometimes I get so red, I become like a tomato. And they go, you're red. You're so red. And I go, yeah, I'm upset. Anyway.
All right, everyone. If there are no further comments or questions during the stream, we'll wrap it up. Have a good weekend. It's Friday morning here in Australia. It's probably Thursday night in the US. And like, subscribe. Channel's growing slowly. It's nice. We're getting a nice audience now, kind of audience we were hoping for. I always the only reason I wanted to start a stream with you was so we could just kind of chat and people could be a fly on the wall and actually see a couple that get along and how we talk through stuff, and we're always on each other's side and we're not getting triggered or angry at each other, not walking on eggshells. You've got a sense of humor. I've got a sense of humor, so. Yeah. All right. I think that's it. We should wrap it up. And look, the stream's still going. Yeah,
Quick, ask us a question so we don't have to go. No kidding.
Yeah, just last Sunday on my other channel, I had a stream, and for the first half an hour, I didn't hit the go live button, and I was talking to myself for half an hour, and it was such a kind of what's that word? Where bittersweet. Where I let off all this energy, I started, and then you realize, that was all a waste. Now I have to try and recreate some of the introduction. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it, babe. We have to go.
Okay.
Let's enjoy the rest of the Sunday. Why aren't I enough? What do you need the stream for?
No, it's just fun.
I'm joking. Relax.
Well, we can keep chatting.
You're so literal.
We'll go for breakfast.
You're so literal.
I am.
We're going to go to breakfast. What do you feel like?
Eggs. Scrambled eggs. Yeah.
I might have porridge again.
Oh, you want to go to Chatterbox?
Actually, I'll decide. Anyway, bye everyone. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you in the next video or stream. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. And thanks for showing up on the stream. Say bye.
Bye.
Because remember,
bye, guys.
I cut you off last time. You were like,
yeah, I was like, and then stop.
All right. Have a good one. Later.